Hello, we are going to the Oil Sand Discovery Center, and I will show you some how they extract the oil in the Tarzan and here in Fort McMurray. Hello guys, welcome back to Add One Family Journey channel. Today we will learn and discover how the extraction of the Alberta oil sand. So let's dig in and learn something today. Ooh, it's a very big wheel.
This is, see the truck how it is small, and this one only the bucket of it. It's like when they are sometimes transferring, it's from here to there. It's like,
Wow, this is the truck and shovel. This is how they do 100 tons.
look at this, how it's the size of the, see, imagine this truck and that one. Yeah, this one and this one. Yeah.
The one who's driving on this, maybe
No, there's no driver.
there's no driver on this.
That's
This
not
is
there.
like remote.
Yes, nobody's there.
It's a giant tire.
And see how this, that one, they need a lot of water, and then, so that's why the sand will go down, and then this one.
Then when they do extraction, they put a lot of water.
See here.
So the sand and the oil will separate.
Hot water is added, separate.
That's why mostly they are near the lake.
Yeah, because they need.
They need water.
That's what's in Christina Lake.
They dig down.
No, they will put this pipe, one
Okay.
hot water and one it's so the hot water will make that one, the black, it will melt,
Okay.
and then one it's sucking the,
Oh, this is like in Sinubos.
yeah.
Steam
So
assisted
imagine how much
gravity
this one
drainage.
deep it's, so until they will reach to that one, and then they will pump it.
So this one are all pipes going down.
the pipe steam, one steam and one it's.
This is the steam assisted gravity drainage. This is cyclic steam stimulation
Yeah, so the side is still, so this one is pumping to the
ground.
ground. See here how much they will, some of them 100 to 100 feet they will go. See.
Wow. This is the resources, guys. This is a oil sand discovery museum. This is the oil from the sun. This is the bitumen, then it will become like this, the oil, where we put it in the crude oil. This is from the sand. This is from the sand extraction. They do an extraction and it will be bitumen, and then they upgrade it and it become a synthetic crude oil. This is the oil sand. Because in the sand there will be a sand particle, water layer, clay, salt and minerals, and bitumen. These are all the rocks here in the Alberta sand. Alberta has the biggest known oil reserve in the world. See, this is Alberta. It's 1.7 to 2.5 trillion barrels of bitumen reserve. And these are the places: Athabasca, in Fort Mac, Peace River, in Cold Lake. This is how the geology of Alberta oil sand. This is the timeline mine. How it is, there's a bedrock. See, a bedrock. This is in the sand, oil sand bedrock, limestone. Then the oil sand where they extract the oil, mostly sandstone and siltstone, shales, glacial, and that's why they are getting the oil here. These are all the stones in the land, the fossil wood. There is all this kind of fossils that you can find in Alberta sand. Why does Alberta have oil sands? This is why they have, because we have plenty of fossils. Why oil sand? The fossil and minerals you see here were all recovered from the Fort McMurray area. Geologists use this specimen to help understand the geological history of the region and the processes that created the oil sand. These are all the fossils, right? That's why they know that there's an oil. And this is the one. This is finding out what lies below. This is how the geological, how they get the sample or testing. This is the mining. This is how they get some of the sand, the extraction. These are all the equipments. Big mining. This is the bucket wheel. I saw this one. It's a giant bucket wheel, and this is how it is. And this is the drag lines. See? This a bucket wheel. The big mining, the first phase. This is the first phase. This is how they planning the mine planning. Getting started. The area is cleared with trees. The area is drained. The muskeg is removed and stored, and the overburden is removed. This is the big mining. They have a big trucks. And this is how they do get it and put it the tons, the truck and shovel, 100 tons a scoop. These are the equipment. And now this truck, there's no driver. It's like a remote thing. Yeah, this is how they do the extraction. And then when they get the sand, they have a crushing stage, getting oil sand ready for extraction, crushing. Then they will crush. This is the one they're using for crushing. Crusher teeth. These are the crusher teeth. This one and this one. Yeah. And this is, see, huge tire. Very huge. Oh my god. That is you cannot even. And this is the equipment. The one we see, the one there, this is the real one. The engine itself it's taller than me. And this is the one. This is the extraction facility. This is how they extract in their lab. And this is the facilities, conditioning facilities, and this is how they extract the pipes. Here, that's the pipes. Hydro transport. And this is one of the machine like this. This is knife gate valve. This is one. This is the extraction building or whatever equipment. How they extract. They do the separation of the water and the sand and the oil. This is how. That's why they need a lot of water. Mostly they are near the lake. They have to put water. This is to have the sand. Middlings. The middlings is when the silt and clay separate from the bitumen, and this is the bitumen froth, which is become an oil. This the one. This is their derivation. Inclined plate settlers. There's a lot. It's how does the centrifuge work? This is the production of the oil. So the first is conditioning, separation, froth treatment, then that's become the bitumen oil. And then there's still finish processing for the finished product. This is a theater.
In 1923, he set up a camp which became known as Bitumen. Fitzsimmons focused on finding a way to efficiently separate the oil from the sand. He constructed several buildings, including what he called a tar sands separation plant. He officially incorporated his business as the International Bitumen Company in 1927. Fitzsimmons adopted methods pioneered by others and improved them based on his own practical experience. His mechanized separation plant was completed in 1930, and he patented a separation process in 1932. Next, he looked for investors in order to expand bitumen, but when he was unsuccessful, the plant was shut down and remained closed until 1937. Decades earlier, in 1913, Sidney Els became involved while surveying the Athabasca River for the Geological Survey of Canada. He was followed by Carl Clark in 1921, who was working for the Scientific and Industrial Research Council, later known as the Alberta Research Council. Initially, the focus of their work was on using the bitumen to pave roads. It was only in the late 1920s that refining the bitumen became the priority. Although both Els and Clark were passionate about the oil sands and worked toward the same goal, they, like the organizations they worked for and the federal and provincial governments, were usually more competitive than cooperative. Clark designed and built the first continuous separation plant in Edmonton in 1924. It was then moved to the Clearwater River near Fort McMurray in 1929, where Sidney Els had established a quarry. It was intended to play a key role in a federal-provincial joint venture, but was short-lived when the Great Depression took hold. The plant was sold in 1930. In 1933, the Alberta Research Council was disbanded, and Clark's tar sands research program was mothballed. In 1930, with the passing of the Alberta Natural Resources Act, all land, mines, minerals, and royalties were transferred from the federal to the provincial government, and the oil sands became the responsibility of the government of Alberta. However, the federal government didn't just hand over its oil sands research to the province. It shifted its efforts to lands that were still under federal jurisdiction. In 1936, while Bitumen sat idle, the Abasand Oils plant was built on the Horse River near Fort McMurray. But things didn't go well. Several fires and reconstructions later, the Abasand project was abandoned and the stripped plant was sold to the private sector in 1948. The Bitumen plant, operated by Fitzsimmons, faced problems in the late 1930s and early 40s and was sold in 1943 to Lloyd Champion, an investor from Montreal. Soon there was an agreement with the government of Alberta to build a new plant at Bitumen and to begin processing oil sands using the method developed by Carl Clark. Construction was started in 1945 but stalled due to high costs. In 1948, the provincial government took over the entire project, completing the new plant in 1949. The official name became the Government Oil Sands Demonstration Plant. The province ordered a technical review and economic feasibility study. The result was a solid endorsement of the Bitumen Oil Sands plant. What followed was fortunate for Alberta, but not for the Bitumen project. Major conventional oil strikes at Leduc and Redwater in the late 1940s drew investor attention away from developing the oil sands because conventional oil was so much cheaper to produce. Bitumen changed hands several times and was eventually shut down in 1957. Even though the plant became overgrown, buildings and equipment deteriorated, interest in the oil sands never completely died, and the memory of Bitumen persisted. In 1974, Bitumen became a designated provincial historic resource, and in 1976, the plant once again became the property of the province of Alberta. The oil sands industry has grown immensely since then, and although the Bitumen plant is dwarfed by the large-scale industrial expansion of this field, it holds a significant place in history. This was the spot where the dream of commercializing Alberta's oil sands was first realized. Bitumen is recognized as the prototype of today's booming oil sands industry. The Bitumen story is a fascinating story of conflict, cooperation, resourcefulness, and perseverance. The ingenuity and ambition that built this tiny plant are a big part of the story of Alberta's energy resources heritage.
This is in situ. What is in situ? It's a mining way to get bitumen from the oil sand. This is how it is. This is how the pumping of bitumen. The thicker oil, which is this one. This is the thicker oil. And the thin oil, which is this one. This is the thin oil. This is the directional drilling, how they drill. Drilling method. And this is the use of the SAGD, which is steam assisted gravity drainage. This is used in Sinobos. Through the steam, they put the pipe down to the bitumen level through the steam. That's how they extract the oil. That's the one. This is the surface, and this is the pipes. The bitumen. This is the steam assisted gravity drainage. This is one way of extracting the oil. Sinobos and other company they are using this steam in Christina Lake. This one is cyclic steam stimulation. This is another way of extracting the bitumen. This is upgrading section. This is how it is. This is the upgrading, distillation, catalytic conversion, thermal conversion, and hydrotreating. And this is what you can do with the bitumen. The uses you can have for the fence post, for the cement, cutting oil, coating, fiber or roof coating, the asphalt also. This is, so the bitumen oil is not only an oil, but these are all the uses. That's are the uses. This is the extraction from bitumen. Thermal conversion and catalytic conversion.
For example, benzene is
This is distillation process.
but only 6 hydrogen atoms.
Because bitumen is a mixture of hydrocarbon compound, it is important to separate those compounds so that they can further process. Distillation is very common industrial process that can be used to sort liquids and gases into their component parts. Distilling bitumen or crude oil means separating out multiple components or fractions. A distillation or fractionating tower work because different substances boil at different temperature. The lightest hydrocarbons with the lowest boiling points travel as a vapor to the top of the tower. Heavier and denser hydrocarbon with a higher boiling point collect as liquid lower in the tower. So this is how the extraction. And this is the hydrotreating catalyst. These are the one. All these engineering or geological terms. The Abasan, huh? Yeah, this is how it is. The process. So because they are drilling the earth, now they have to do something for the environment, giving back. So that's what they did because they're touching the environment, drilling. So they have to, the company is putting ecosystem and environment. See, this is, they put some plants and trees and animals. This is the environment. They're doing something to the environment, right? Because they're extracting some oil, so it's like they're giving back to the nature of what they did. That's the thing. And this is the water issues. They are also checking because doing the oil sand, they need a lot of water, and mostly the company, they are near the lake, so they are also treating the lake. See, water issues.
Environmental science and traditional knowledge may sound like two totally different ways of understanding the boreal forest ecosystem. But are they? As part of their environmental impact assessment and
This
monitoring
is
program,
land
oil
reclamation.
sands companies are paying a lot more attention to Aboriginal elders and their understanding of how animals, plants, and
Soil salvage.
interact in the
They're
boreal
doing, it's like salvaging the oil.
This exchange of knowledge has been
What they have to do with the soil, that they remove, right? So this is salvaging the oil. Help. Exit here, huh? We are finished inside, so we are going outside to the equipment garden. This is small than the one we saw yesterday. We call it crawler tractor. This is for digging, one kind of UTF or Sito. This is slurry pump. This is a tower. Sponge column and trays. There also the big one, bucket wheel exhibit. This is the biggest one. From Suncor. Yesterday we went, it's from Syncrude. Huge, giant machine. See the tires? It's a huge tire.
No, this is smaller than that.
This is smaller than that.
Yeah.
The one inside. Hello guys, thanks for watching and thank you. See you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye for now. See you next time.